Hello students, you had been complaining about the quality of the biology lectures. The videos were not clear to you, so here I am with a slightly modification. The improvised, like I'm using a selfie stick now, so hopefully you would be able to see more clarity this time. So to begin with, I really want to take 10 minutes just to show you the previous sheets which you were not able to see clearly in the videos before. So the chapter we have started is chapter number 8, the cell, the unit of life. And I only explained in these few pages that cell is a structural functional unit of life, and it consists of a membrane bound mass of the protoplasm. And I gave you the definition or the meaning of the protoplasm with a small diagram, if you remember. I told that protoplasm is the fluid material inside the cell, including the nucleus. And when protoplasm is bound with the plasma membrane, it is called as protoplast. Now, protoplasm minus nucleus is called as the cytoplasm. Study of the cell is called as cytology. The newer term which is latest now used is cell biology. So cytology is no more in use. Otherwise, the word modern cytology is used. This is the previous thing which I explained, that the organisms can be single-celled, they can be multi-celled, or they can be made up of few cells. If they are made up of few cells, they are called as colonial organisms or synobial organisms. Syno word is used for together, and bio or bial means living. So when few cells stay together and live together, so very less amount of tissue level of organization, it is called as synobial organisms. Example is Volvox. In the third chapter of the biology book, you are going to learn about Volvox because it comes in the plant kingdom. Human body has tens of trillions of cells, but the types of these cells are just 200 or something more than that. That means there are many cells of similar type. So similar type cells, sometimes dissimilar cells also, they join to form tissues. And in the first lecture, I told you that tissues can be simple tissue or complex tissue. If a tissue is made up of similar type of cells performing similar function, they come from the similar background, mother cells, then you start calling them as the simple tissues. Example from the plant kingdom, if you remember. In the plant tissues, if you remember, parenchyma, collenchyma, these are all examples of simple tissue. But the moment you say xylem and phloem, they are called as complex tissue because there are cells which are dissimilar in their shape, size and functions. So tissues join to form organs, organs join to form the organ systems and the organism, and that means cell is the building block of everything, because one cell is able, like a zygote is totipotent, because if a dividing cell divides into 2 cells, 3, then 4 cells, then 8 cells, if you remove any one cell out of it, it is possible in the initial stages of embryogenesis that each cell is able to give rise to a complete new individual. That's how twins are born. So this property is called as totipotency. What is totipotency? Total potential. That means the complete capability or potential present in a cell to give rise to the complete body of a multicellular organism is called as totipotency. But this property is lost. The reason is division of labor. Among multicellular organisms, as the cells undergo growth and division, and a newborn baby is there, example in the case of human, not every cells are functioning in the same manner. Reason, some cells are supposed to be sensory, some cells are supposed to be the muscles. So the reason behind all this is differential expression of the genes. Every cell in human body, for example, carries same number of genes and similar genes, but some genes function in some cells and the other type of genes function in the other cells. That's why when different type of genes are getting expressed, they perform different functions. I hope this point is clear to you. Then I gave you some early history of the cell and the things regarding cell, regarding what all Robert Hooke had done, and regarding Leeuwenhoek and regarding Robert Brown and the cell theory, and the modifications done by the cell theory which was done by Rudolf Virchow. So please go through these things once again, because now I think the videos are going to be clearer for you. And I told you some exceptions to the cell theory. There are organisms like viruses, and then there are prokaryotes where there is no nucleus, prokaryotes where there are no eukaryotic type of organelles, and then there are organisms which are cynocytic or otherwise syncytial. Now, cynocytic word is used for fungi and plants, a condition in which a cell carries more than one nucleus or multiple number of nucleus is called cynocytic in the case of fungi and plants, and is called as syncytial or syncytium in the case of the